All right, welcome back to today's episode. It's going to be kind of an interesting one. We've got a bit of a build here. Not yesterday. The last episode we worked on, started the work on the zoo way over there. Today we're going to be back here, and going to be working on a redstone kind of bit project, but first thing we're going to be doing is making a hole in the ground. This is going to be a pretty big area. I've kind of got it laid out, but I sort of need to dig out and dig up on this. What we're going to do is we're going to build a bunch of randomizers for I just noticed that those are off. A bunch of randomizers so that we can put together some fireworks. And we're going to be building some fireworks and having those available for another project that's coming up, and maybe even to sell them. So, whoa, sand. So what we're going to do is we're going to set it up here with a bunch of droppers and a little loud there. A bunch of droppers and items that'll randomly allow us to pick the different colors, the different add-ons for fireworks, the different things like that. So should be, oh boy, a lot of gravel up there. Should be kind of interesting what we're going to be doing, but like I said, first thing we got to do is we got to do a little bit of digging. So I'm going to dig out this hole and then probably come back and build the first randomizer we've got here on camera and sort of talk through what we need to do. Let me get this pick worn down and all of these rocks gone, and I'll be back with you here in a bit. All right, and welcome back. So we are going to put together the first little chunk of our project here. We're going to set ourselves up to randomize a bunch of stuff. So we're going to set ourselves up a randomizer and a dispenser from there. So what I've got is I've got most of the things in here that we need, and we'll take a look at what we're going to do. So I'm not sure if anybody else, if you guys know how to build a randomizer, but what we're going to do is we need to get these a little bit off the ground, and of course I have haste. Let's get some stone here. I'll patch this up real quick. What we're going to do is so what we're going to do is we're going to build ourselves like a fireworks stand. So one of the things about building a randomized firework charge is you can add multiple colors. So we've got here, this is going to be stacked too high. So this side over here is going to be 8, and then this side over here is going to be 8 different colors. And what we're going to do is we're going to be able to push a button or stand on a plate, and it'll go through and activate all 16 different colors and randomly decide whether or not to send a pulse into this dropper. So the way a randomizer works is, it's a comparator, not a repeater, is that you get all the right stuff here. Pretty easy to do. So what we do is we let me build this real quick, and we'll show you how it works. Dropper, hopper. Oops, got this backwards. So what we're going to do is, I'm thinking and talking at the same time, doesn't always work. Is what we're going to do is we're going to take a reading off of a hopper, and what we do is we put a dropper right next to it and a hopper right here. And I think I have that too close. I do. Uh, and what you do is you put two different items in here, and you can have it picked up a couple of different ways. But different items stack to a maximum of a different value. So what we do is we load in a non-stackable item, and then for right now we'll just put one other item in here. So what we do is we come on the back of this with a signal, right? And this dropper then shoots a random item out of this 9. So right now, because we only have 2 of them in here, this dropper is gonna send either the stone or the shovel into this hopper, and this comparator is going to read the signal off of it. So let me grab a block here and lock this hopper real quick, and we'll see what happens. So this is going to lock that hopper so I can show you what the two differences are. So as you're looking over here, you can see if we throw in a piece of stone into that hopper, oops, I can actually put it in there. You can see that the signal reaches to here, but not to here. Alright, now if we come and grab the shovel out of here and put it into here, we have a longer signal, and you can hear that this dropper fired. So what we do is we send a signal to this dropper that pushes one item into this hopper and reads a signal off of it. If the shovel comes into the hopper, then it will dispense the die that we're going to put into this particular dropper. If the stone that we put into here were to come into this hopper, the signal doesn't reach this dropper right here, so we don't get this item dispensed. And that's sort of how we can randomize the colors that are coming out. So what we can do is, instead of just putting in 2 items here to give us a 50-50, 50% chance, we can add a different kind of heavily stackable item, let's say gravel. That's going to stack up to 64. So now there's a 1 in 3 chance, or approximately a 33 1/3% chance that the shovel would fire, and we get this particular piece of this redstone over here lit up. If we put a 4th one in, different type, and we can name them all differently. So now we have a 1 in 4, so a 25% chance that this particular color is going to be dispensed into our fire charge, or our firework setup. This is a pretty simple little tool, and what happens is that as soon as this gets transferred into there, as soon as this dispenser, as soon as this hopper gets an item, because it's faced back into the dropper, it puts it right back in, so the next time it's ready to go again. So what we need to do is, what we'll figure out is what's the best number of items to put in here. Probably, because we have 16 different colors, you can have up to 3 colors, I believe it is, per each firework. I think that 25% chance for each color to go in is probably going to be right, and that should give us enough time and enough random options to get a handful of colors in there each time. So what we're going to do is we're going to build 8 of these here and 8 of those over here, and they're going to shoot out. One's going to be right above the next one, and they're going to shoot out into probably a water stream I'm going to have right here. Probably going to have this whole wall with glass, so I'll have to make this look pretty and so forth, so that you can see the item falling off. But there'll be glass like right here, and there'll be there'll probably be a water stream in here for all of these items. Now this set over here, these other 4 are going to be for the other things like feathers, diamonds, gold nuggets, fire charges, depending upon what options we want. And those are going to end up being randomizers, but they're going to be a little more tricky because, for example, I believe it's the feather, fire charge, and one other item that you only can add 1 of the items to it. So that'll make it kind of interesting. There's like the glowstone and the diamond, I believe, changes the effect on it, and you can only have one of those. So we'll have to figure out how to count which items have been fired off and dispensed for those extra effects. But let me get the basics of the color dispensers built. I'm gonna go pick up some colored wool for our circuit over here rather than just use this. So I'll tear this back down again and go from there. So let me get this part of it built, and then we'll talk about how we're gonna build the rest of these. So let me get to work. Alright, and welcome back. So this is what we're going to do for our randomizer for our technically our 4-item randomizer. So let's take a look at this here. And I haven't quite finished it yet, but I figured I'd get you guys in here and have you take a look at what we've done so far, so you kind of get an idea of what we're going to do. What we're going to have is up in this dropper at the very, very top, we're going to have a handful of items. What we're probably going to have is like 4 items total, so that, or probably a handful of items, but however we want the to come across. But what we're going to have is we're going to have 1, 2, 3, and then 4 different items to represent the 4 different things that we're going to want to distribute out, which is a fire charge, a feather, and a gold nugget. We might actually use those items. They all stack to the same fire charge. I have to go look. I think fire charge is only stacked to 16, which would be a little bit different. But for the rest of them, we'll try to get them in here. What they're going to do is they're going to go through this item sorter. So that hopper and that dropper behind there, this hopper right here, are going to be our randomizer. The hopper is going to push the item into the hopper, the dropper is, and it's going to come along here. And then these are just basic item sorters. So whichever one that it happens to dispense into is going to go and light up this item sorter, which will fire the associated dropper for what we want. And then what's going to happen is it's going to drop through, go back, and fire back up into the top hopper. So we'll need to build a little bit of a 2-step hopper elevator to get it up into that one up there. Should be pretty easy to do. That's the only thing that I haven't gotten in there. So that's what we're going to do. The only other thing I have is we have a one other option where it's going to be a glowstone or a diamond. And I got to figure out how those are going to tie in, but those are going to go right over here. And I think you can add one or both of them, so they'll be very similar randomizers to this. Only those are going to be more rare because at least the diamond is going to be more rare. 1, because they're more common, and 2, because it's not it doesn't quite look as good. So let me get that last little bit in there, and then and finish up this one and get this all set up and ready to go. As far as the completed of the randomizers, and then we'll look at how we're going to tie these all in together to get them to fire. I'll probably even lay down some water and so forth in here to just start getting that process going. So let me get a little bit of work done, and I'll bring you right back. So we'll see you here in a bit. All right, and welcome back. So figured I'd bring you back in here and show you what's going on here, so you kind of understand what's happening here. So I started loading these up, and I ran into a problem. So I got my 3 items right down here, and I got my 18 diorite in there, and it should be, where's it at? Must be in here somewhere. Well, I can put another one in here, and we'll see what happens. So I've got diorite in here, right? Just regular old diorite. And what I want to do is I want to send 1 piece of diorite through the system. Okay. And it didn't go through. Or did it? I don't think any of these are locked here, so let me do another piece. Well, I'll have to find that piece of diorite. Well, I was running into a bit of a problem here, and I'll show you what it was that caused a different kind of issue. I was expecting to hear some clicking. But I get it into this one right here where I'd put another piece in here, which is going to have it drop down. And it would fire, but you'll notice that it fired twice. Or it didn't fire twice, it fired both. What's happening is this block was getting lit up, and that means this one was also getting hit up. So I have to take this all apart and separate all these droppers one apart from each other. So that's what I'm going to end up doing. So I will bring you back once I get this all moved apart and rearranged. So I will be back with you here after a bit. Alright, and welcome back. So we are moving along on this. I got this all tested out. Looks and works pretty well. Let me grab a button, and I think we can do a test. I think we can do a test. Yeah, I know how we'll do a test here. Right here. Oh, that was dumb. Oh, nope, wrong. I'm not thinking. It's been one of those kind of days working on this project, not quite working as planned on everything. All right, now I need a piece of stone. I may or may not. I may need that stone again, so I'm not going to use it, even though it's a named piece of stone there. Yeah, there's a button right there. All right, so let's be prepared. All right, so let's walk through what we've got done here, and I will show you. So we separated these all out. I've got fire charges in here, gold nuggets and feathers for the different things, and this one right here doesn't fire anything, which means it's not going to fire. Not going to send anything. So this right here is our input anywhere under this dropper, and it probably will be right here, and I want to light this up just in case. And what we've got in here is we've got 4 different items, all named, and each one of them represents one of these item sorters. Right? They're all named items. So what should happen here is we push this button, an item goes in, and it was probably this first one that went. Of course, it was the first one here that doesn't have anything on it. So let's press it again and see what happens. Oh, see the feather over there. So feather got dispensed. And that second click that we hear, just so you know, is it going from the second dropper up to the third dropper and recycling back into this one right here. So if we press it again, oh, feather again, and it's just sort of random which one it is. So that part of it works just fine. And one more time, see if we get something other than the feather. Oh, come on. Really? That's what happens when you randomize something. It could be any one of these 4 items, so. Oh, there we go. And there's the fire charge, so. You can see there that it does work. It does pop up a random item in there, or nothing. It can be nothing, which is considered one of the random items. So, you know. If we wanted to change it so it was less likely to pass the or more likely to pass the random, we just would add in more of that particular one into this one, or add another one that would fail any of these things. But other than that, that works out pretty good. This other blue one right over here is going to be our last little one, which is the glowstone and the diamond option. So it's just like all the rest of these, and should be good to go. But I will say that this project, with having to redo some of this, is taking a little bit longer than I thought. So what I'm going to do is I am going to leave this project right here and call it for today on this video, and we'll come back and I'll get this all wired in, and we'll show you what the final project looks like on the next video. And also try to get some of the decoration in and get some of this stuff ready to go as well. But that is all I've got time for today. I always appreciate your comments, and would love to hear from you. You can find me on Twitter at @AWanderingNerd. You can also leave the comments here in this video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you want to see more like it, definitely subscribe. But that is all that I've got for today. And until next time, this is A Wandering Nerd.